It was the late 1980s and cricket was warming up to a new talent. Still a minor then, a Mumbai boy had started to show a steely edge behind his boyish demeanour. He loved the Yorkers and had the ability to salvage tricky situations. Johnson & Johnson's Band-Aid was the first product that Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar endorsed, and there was no looking back since then. Soon, Tendulkar had some of the most prominent brands of the 90s under his belt. However, it was Tendulkar's 1995 deal with Mark Mascarenhas of WorldTel that really opened the floodgates. With a 5-year contract valued at nearly 30 crore, brands like Adidas, MRF, Philips and Visa were coughing up in excess of rupees 1 crore for annual contracts. Old faithfuls like Boost and Pepsi too had to escalate their offers in line with the new numbers. Meanwhile, on the field, Tendulkar was now opening the batting in one-day internationals and was doing so at his brutal and dominating best. While we have also had older legends like Kapil Dev and Sunil Gavaskar endorse products, never before was a sports icon's dominance so complete on our television screens. But the Mascarenhas-Tendulkar deal changed the topography of brand endorsement in sports, especially cricket. By the end of the decade, an entire player management industry had been born in its wake. Sachin's Midas touch with brands rested on the laurels of his on-field talent, but they were also a product of the times. After the economy was opened up in the early 1990s, foreign brands had begun to make an aggressive foray into the newly opened up Indian market, and they needed a face to connect with the Indian audience. Soon, with Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government pushing for the ideal of Swadeshi in a liberalized Indian market, Tendulkar became the perfect example of Made in India brand that was also global in its reach and appeal.
Sachin triggered off the commercialization of sports people in India. Cricket as a driver of the masses and the driver of viewership had grown many folds because of multiple factors. So it's not only that there was a deal, but the deal was done in the context of a far larger audience that was available to cricket. Amount of cricket that you were watching, increased again by many times over. So it's a function of both visibility and availability of the sport before the sportsman can start to become a bigger entity.
So, can Sachin Tendulkar be called the father of brand professionalization in Indian sports? Experts believe while his contribution is immense, the new age player brands like MS Dhoni, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are also buoyed by the great transformation in brand endorsement that the Indian Premier League introduced.
I think the environment has changed. IPL came in during the tail end of Sachin's career. And again, IPL created a kind of a seismic shift in television viewership. It made it not just a sport, but it actually made it a spectacle. And second, of course, the sheer ubiquity of these faces, because of the amount of cricket that was being played, test matches, T20 formats, one-day internationals, IPL, etc., made them more familiar, which I think to some extent explains why they're endorsing brands now which have no real obvious linkages with cricket or sports.
Experts also point out that the endorsement profile of stars like Dhoni or Kohli is much more diversified, spanning across sectors like fashion, health drinks, home appliances, auto, building materials, and FMCG. A study by American corporate investigation and risk consulting firm Kroll reveals that in 2016, Bollywood stars constituted 81.7% of the overall brand value for India's top 20 celebrities, while the remaining 18.3% was comprised of sports stars. However, in 2022, the share of Bollywood stars has fallen to 67.6%, with 28.9% comprising sports stars and the remaining 3.5% belonging to Tollywood stars. Leading the charge of the sportsters is of course Virat Kohli, who has remained at the top of Kroll's Celebrity Brand Index for 4 years in a row, before falling to a second spot behind Bollywood celebrity Ranveer Singh in 2022. Tendulkar meanwhile makes a re-entry at number 8 this year. Experts believe that the sports endorsement space has changed massively in the last 2 decades, and the rise of modern-day players like Dhoni and Kohli have pursued their own style of brand building thanks to this. However, they do maintain that none of this would have been possible had Sachin Tendulkar not shown the way.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.